What made these Sunday afternoon movies so good? We are celebrating the culture of the effortless rewatch. These are the films that require zero warm-up. You don't need to be in the right headspace. You could be folding laundry, you could be nursing a headache, or you could just be avoiding your responsibilities. You flip the channel, you see it's halfway through, and you drop the remote. You're locked in. We'll find out today as we rank them on the Star Chart. Let's begin with the undisputed king of lazy afternoon viewing, Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz. This should have been just another monster movie remake, but in 1999 they caught lightning in a bottle. Is it a horror movie? An Indiana Jones ripoff? A romantic comedy? The answer, of course, is yes, all of the above. The genius of this movie is that it never takes itself too seriously, but the stakes still feel real. Rick O'Connell is the ultimate swashbuckling hero, and Evelyn is the smartest person in the room. They are the perfect duo. On a Sunday afternoon, this movie is comforting. It's funny, the practical sets are gorgeous, and Imhotep is a top-tier villain. I'm giving The Mummy 5 stars. Twister, 1996. I know the CGI looks a little dated now, but we have to remember this was cool at the time. The plot is barely there. It's literally just Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt chasing bad weather while arguing about their divorce. But man, does it work. This is the holy grail of cable TV staples. This is the movie you always seem to catch right as the flying cow goes across the windshield. It works because of the ensemble cast. Philip Seymour Hoffman as Dustin alone is worth the watch. You want to hang out with these storm chasers and see just how crazy they are. It captures the feeling of a chaotic road trip with your weirdest friends. Twister gets 4 stars. Ocean's 11. This one is the definition of cool. If you catch this on TV, you aren't turning it off. The pacing is smoother than a jazz record. Steven Soderbergh somehow managed to put half of Hollywood's A-list in one room and nobody stepped on each other's toes. The atmosphere of this movie is intoxicating. The suits, the Vegas lights, the soundtrack. However, the best part is just watching extremely competent people be good at their jobs. There's no heavy trauma, no depressing backstory. It's just pure, unadulterated style. It's a masterclass in ensemble chemistry, but it never makes you work hard to follow the heist. You just sit back and watch the magic trick unfold. I'm giving Ocean's 11 5 stars. It's art, and we don't have to steal it. Let's talk about a controversial one, a movie that completely divides the room. If you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, critics absolutely despise this movie. They called it bloated, messy, and sentimental trash. On paper, Steven Spielberg directing Robin Williams as an adult Peter Pan sounds perfect. On screen, it's undeniably weird. Dustin Hoffman is chewing the scenery as Captain Hook. Julia Roberts is completely out of place as Tinkerbell. But for a specific generation, this movie is sacred. If it's on a Sunday, you are watching the food fight scene. You are waiting for Rufio to yell bangarang. It has a magical, chaotic aesthetic that screams 1990s set design. It's a movie that critics judge with their brains, but we judge with our inner child. Hook is 3 stars. Waterworld, 1995. Let's talk about a movie that was a legendary disaster before it even hit theaters. The most expensive movie ever made at the time. It was famously plagued by sinking sets and a ballooning budget. It's essentially Mad Max on the water, starring Kevin Costner with gills. Is the pacing a slog? Yes. Does the story make a lot of sense? Not really. But on a lazy Sunday afternoon, this movie is strangely hypnotic. The practical stunts on the floating atoll are genuinely impressive. Dennis Hopper plays the villain, the Deacon. He's just trying to keep everything afloat. It's a bit of a mess, but if you catch a post-apocalyptic jet ski battle while you're eating lunch, you aren't changing the channel. I feel Waterworld is 2 stars. The Fugitive, 1993. Harrison Ford is Dr. Richard Kimball, a man who didn't kill his wife, on the run from a U.S. Marshal who doesn't care. This is the ultimate dad movie that accidentally became perfect for everyone. The plot is basically a cat and mouse game played at 100 miles per hour. It features Tommy Lee Jones delivering some of the greatest deadpan dialogue in cinema history. Is there any fat on this script? No, it's lean. The train crash sequence is still mind-blowing today because they actually smashed a real train. The tension is relentless, but somehow incredibly relaxing when you're watching it from your couch. Do you find yourself rooting for the fugitive or the marshals in this one? I'm giving The Fugitive 5 stars. A Knight's Tale. Here is a movie that was way ahead of its time. A medieval jousting movie set to the tune of Queen's We Will Rock You. This should have been terrible. History buffs hated the anachronisms, but when it hit cable, people realized what it actually was: a sports movie disguised as a period piece. The cast is incredible. Heath Ledger oozes charisma. Paul Bettany as Geoffrey Chaucer completely steals the show. The dialogue is hilarious. It's one of those movies that just makes you feel good. It's an underdog story with a killer soundtrack. Disappointed we don't get mid-budget crowd pleasers like this anymore. I think A Knight's Tale is 4 stars. Catch Me If You Can, 2002. Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. Directed by Spielberg. The pitch is simple. A teenage con artist outsmarts the FBI while pretending to be a pilot, a doctor, and a lawyer. What makes this a classic isn't just the glamorous 1960s aesthetic, it's the underlying sadness. Frank Abagnale Jr. isn't a mastermind, he's just a lonely kid running away from his parents' divorce. Carl Hanratty is the only adult who actually cares about him. The concept is executed perfectly. It's breezy, it's visually stunning without being heavy-handed. The knock-knock joke scene alone is worth the runtime. I'm giving Catch Me If You Can 4 stars. Wild Wild West, 1999. There are Clint Eastwood westerns, and then there's this, the movie you watch purely out of morbid fascination. Will Smith famously turned down the role of Neo in The Matrix to make this movie. He should have chose the red pill. The tone is completely all over the place. The jokes don't land. Kenneth Branagh plays a villain who's missing half his body, and Salma Hayek is just sort of there. But if you're flipping channels and you suddenly see an 80-foot steampunk mechanical tarantula walking across the Utah desert, you don't touch the remote. You sit there, paralyzed by the sheer audacity of this spectacular train wreck. It is objectively bad, but it is never, ever boring. I'm giving Wild Wild West 1 star. Back to the Future, 1985. I've covered the soundtrack for Back to the Future, but what about the movie itself? One of the greatest screenplays of all time. You already know this, but what makes it the ultimate Sunday afternoon watch is that there is no bad time to tune in. If you catch it while Marty is in the diner, you're watching. If you catch it during the skateboard chase, you're watching. Every single setup has a payoff. The pacing is like a Swiss watch. This movie proves that perfect structure doesn't have to be boring. It is a masterpiece of storytelling. For anyone who loves movies, this is the gold standard of entertainment. I say Back to the Future is 5 stars. It is flawless. All right, let's see what's playing. 5 stars, The Mummy, Ocean's 11, The Fugitive, Back to the Future. 4 stars, Twister, A Knight's Tale, Catch Me If You Can. 3 stars, Hook. 2 stars, Waterworld. 1 star, Wild Wild West. What was the movie you couldn't turn off? The one that ruined your productivity on a Sunday because you accidentally watched it from the middle to the end credits? I know I've done that so many times. I don't mean to, but it happens, and I don't regret it. Thanks for watching. Excuse me while I head back to the future, the year 2026.